It's time for our guest, Fusion interview with DJ Dlife.
And show you how it was. My favorite borough is Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx, Manhattan. All right, so we're here at the Soul Plage.
We're going to talk about anything.
Yes, Ocho Rios. Yeah, the man from Jamaica. They're Ochi.
And everything.
All right, folks, so we're back. This is another edition of Fusion. And like I said, we're fresh from Trinidad. All right, Trinidad Carnival 101. And we're back in studio. So it's only right I'm kicking off. I have a lot of my good friends now just linking up and making it happen. And this gentleman here is no stranger. International acclaimed soca artist. Billions of streams. One of the most publicized and promoted soca songs ever. Am I right in saying that?
Most likely.
Kevin Lyttle, ladies and gentlemen. How are you, my brother?
Yeah, man. Good, man. Good to see you again, man.
Yeah, man. A good man. I like the relaxation. I like the mood.
Yeah. Just inside my yard here, my backyard.
Nice.
I'm sitting in a little swing chair here, just, you know what I mean?
Well, you know, people, let's be a little curious. Let them see a little peep in the backyard. Get them a little.
It's kind of messy, you know. It's messy.
That's all right. Get them a little peep in the backyard. Ah, nice.
A lot of
property. Get the pool ready.
Yeah, man.
Get the pool ready.
I was in it yesterday, but the thing about America is, right? The sun is hot, but everything else is cold. Like, this is the water real cold, Jed. Like, even if you see the sun shining in the water, you go in the water, freezing.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah, things don't get hot up here real quick, especially.
It'll take a while.
It'll take a while.
The temperature had to be like 18, 90, somewhere around there for you
to
feel
90s here, boy.
Yeah. For you to feel a little warm in the water.
Yeah.
But brother, listen. I mean, you're here. You have new music.
Yeah, man.
Right? But for the folks, I want to do a little history because you know what I mean. It's been a minute since you pretty much been on this show, and I want to get a thing throwback so folks, the new listeners now, the new watchers now, can have an understanding of who Kevin Lyttle is. Broke on the scene. Pretty much, what year was Turn Me On?
Depends on which part of the world you're talking about. If you're talking about the Caribbean, it was 2001. That's St. Vincent Carnival, and then over into all the other islands. And then if you're talking about internationally, that's 2003, 2004.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember actually bringing you on Hot 97 with this tune, man. Playing this song for the first time on Hot. I mean, wow. But long time. But just to give a little folks a little for the generation watching now who doesn't hear the song because it's still an anthem in any part of the world.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into all of that. I want you to elaborate on that. It is still a fixture in clubs. It's one of the songs when you play it for any function.
Yeah.
And I must say this, folks. You play this song for any function, you get an automatic reaction.
Yeah.
It is.
It's time for party. It's like, okay, it's time to party now.
It's time to party now.
Yeah. Party starts.
All right, so folks, this is Kevin Lyttle. This is our throwbacks, and this is Kevin Lyttle. Turn Me On. Let me take it on.
Yeah, man.
Pushing everything right back on top of me, yeah. But if you think you're gonna get away from me, you better change your mind. You're going home with me tonight. peacock sky, whining hard on me. Got my python hollering for mercy, yeah. Then the whisper in her ear, so whine harder. And then she said to me, boy, just push that thing, push it harder back on me. So let me hold you, girl, caress my body. You got me going crazy. You turn me on, turn me on. Let me jam you, go wine harder on me. You got me going crazy. You turn me on, girl. Just hug me, kiss me, squeeze me, hug me, kiss and caress me, hug me, kiss me, squeeze me, hug me, kiss and caress me.
When a girl not go get me tonight, if she thinks a bad man not go fight, me don't feed her with popcorn and Sprite. Walk on fly away like kite.
For the longest while we're jamming in the party, and you're whining on me, pushing everything right back on top of me, yeah. But if you think you're gonna get away from me, you better change your mind. You're going home, you're going home with me tonight. Let me hold you, go caress my body. You got me going crazy. You turn me on, let me jam you, go right on me. You got me going crazy. You turn me on, yeah. La, 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 la. Hug me, kiss me, hug me, kiss and caress me, hug me, squeeze me, hug me, girl, and kiss and caress me. Hey, 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 oh yeah.
Well, yes, it's a big dancehall song, you know. Man's out alongside Kevin Lyttle. You know what it is. You know we go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, long time I watch this video, boy.
Wow.
I can't believe we actually got Spragga to dance, though. Yeah. I remember we used to question, "Well, we're gonna get Spragga to dance, boy." Get Spragga means. We got
Take us
Spragga
back,
to dance,
take
yeah.
us back, because Kevin, you're looking at what 24 years ago.
Mhm.
24, yeah, 20. Well, if it
Well, probably 20 years because it was shot in 2003, that video.
2003, the video was shot, right? So
Yeah.
20 years ago,
Actually 2004. Yeah, because
2004.
2003 we came out with the release in London, and then we did the album, and then we prepared for the release in America for 2004. So we shot the video, I would think, in the beginning of 2004. Whenever it was the blackout, the last huge blackout they had in America, that was the day that our video was shot.
Wow.
Yeah, so a lot of the people you see inside of that video, like even the girl in the costume in the end, that was my road manager's daughter. She was always hanging with us. And then the girl pulling the big costume, that was actually my manager at the time. At one point, you know, there was a lot of my staff that had to jump in because there was a lot of problems because of the blackout. A lot of people didn't show up. You know, we had people stake out for a whole day and night before we could literally get to almost halfway through the video. Had issues finding flags, getting the costumes, it was just ridiculous.
So that whole video there's a whole story behind that video.
Yeah.
Never knew that.
Yeah, there was a lot, bro. There was a lot that day, boy. Yeah,
I mean, all right. So initially the song was done in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
2004, the video now shooting. Take me into Kevin Lyttle's mind for that first 3-4 years in between after you released this song, and you're waiting for that opportunity.
Bro, I was just going, man. I think what happened, because I was young at the time and didn't have as much experience as I have now. I was just very much being pulled in every direction and didn't know my head from my tail. I was just really going and doing the things that I know would at least keep me going for the long haul, not necessarily fighting for the short-term gains, but the long haul. And there was a lot of nuances that happened around me because, as you can hear, that song of Turn Me On, the reason why the song is still one of the biggest songs in the world is because that song created a kind of formula in the music industry that united all the different genres of music and cultures of music. You know, it united the Afro, it united the Afro with the dancehall with the zouk and the soca, and then it united that part of the world with the R&B as well. So it brought the R&B to the Caribbean and the African song, and yet it brought the dancehall to the soca song. You know, because dancehall and soca were never really hanging with each other.
It wasn't meshing. Back in them times, I mean, for real, it wasn't meshing.
Yeah, I even remember when you was under pressure on Hot 97. I remember them days.
Thank you.
Yeah, when you were like, you couldn't even get enough time for your soca segment because the format was, it's a Jamaican show, really. And the dancehall thing was more looked at as the international thing, and the soca thing was a local thing, and they giving you a blight.
Yeah, that is basic.
Yo, you know, so I know you went through it. You know the time.
I went through it. I mean, I got numerous calls on Monday after the show. We did the show on Sunday. Like, you have to stick with this. You have to just play this. Because I used to, you know what I mean? I used to be in all those soca parties, quote unquote, right? In Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So I know what the streets want to hear.
Yeah.
Right? So you can't come and tell me, oh, you can only play. No, I am playing, you know, and when it came to your song as well, when we first played it, you know, they were like, you know, don't stress on these songs too tough. Give them and I'm like, yo, listen, y'all gotta let me do me.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta let me do me. And it was, you know, to see where it is now, man. Yeah. I mean, from the big reggae tip concert, right? It went to the reggae and soca tip concert now.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I mean, yo, you are the foundation of bringing soca to the mainstream in that way, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, because Hot 97 was the biggest thing for Black music in New York, a place where Black culture was the melting pot of Black culture and music, and you are the representative of the soca music on an international level, along with guys like David Levy and just to mention a few others, Bob, I forgot his name, Bobby Condas, but there was, you know, but I'm talking about from the soca level, not just locked into the dancehall. You know, because at that time, a lot of the dancehall DJs, all of them were more locked into the reggae and the dancehall. And even before that, it was a stress to get the soca in. You know, we were badly labeled.
we were badly labeled. And the thing is, what happened, and to give props, what Hot 97 did for me was kind of had me as that bridge, because a lot of the dancehall artists now, right, they gave me that name, Soca King. That is where that came from. That you did, Dlife, the Soca King youth. And that stuck, funny enough, with me, because it gave me a sense of acceptance now to go into these dancehall, hardcore dancehall parties. I remember the first dancehall party I played. Brother, I'm gonna keep it real with you, Kevin. I mean, they pretty much cleared the floor.
Yeah, that's how they used to be. I mean, that's what it was. And a lot of the youths now today wouldn't even realize that. It's what, 20 years ago for us. Yep. But it feels like just yesterday. Yep. You know, it was crazy. It was really crazy. It was a different thing for soca. And then, you know, as it changed, as we see here, Turn Me On has lasted, sticking on point, because it created that song that really unified these two cultures, the dancehall and the soca, and still brought the R&B to us as well. Yep. You know, because of the pop crossover feel to it as well. It brought us into the pop field. It kind of highlighted the pop sounding side of soca as well, because soca in itself is very pop and dance. You know, I remember back in the day when we had cassettes, we was mixing on the cassette them dance music with soca, because it's the same.
Yeah, man, that pause button was working.
Yeah, bro. No, but when I say like DJs would mix on the cassette, them.
Yeah.
He mixes on the cassette with dance music mixed with soca. You hear a soca song and it will be ponging on a dance beat.
Yeah.
The vocals do everything and everything match up the same way. So it
Yep.
kind of highlighted that whole thing, you know, and that's why I think that song is still stuck around, because now Afrobeat is still what is there is using that formula, and they keep reporting back to that formula. That formula is the foundation of it. Hence as well why I have ownership in song Mamacita, Chris Brown Questions. You know what I'm saying? All of them using my formula. You know, so
and I want to get into all of that, Kevin. I want to get into the business side of it too with you, because you're not you know, a lot of people would look at it and say, oh, Kevin is a one-hit wonder. We didn't hear about Kevin, but you did some really innovative moves.
yeah.
When it comes to the business part, and I want to get into all of that. So
that one hit wonder thing is a disrespectful thing.
Is a district, and I want to get into all of that. So hold that thought, Kevin.
Yeah.
We gotta go to commercial break. When you come back, I want to touch on that, because all that stigma too, I want to put it to rest now with a lot of people, because now the generation coming up. In fact, you'll take a commercial break. When I come back, folks, we'll get into all of that with Kevin. Stand by. New York Carnival, aka Reactor, is celebrating 58 years. Join us August the 28th through September the 1st for New York Carnival Week in New York City.
I come from when Kong used to carry it.
With over 20 adult bands, over 30 junior bands, New York Carnival Week is something you cannot miss. The Mecca of Carnival, New York Carnival, kicking off August the 28th through September the 1st. We love New York Carnival. Remember to log on to the website, weatcarnival.org. Follow us on Instagram at New York Carnival. Experience the Mecca of New York Carnival. The Caribbean melting pot.
Look something to talk about.
August the 28th through September the 1st. Carnival Week in New York City. Join us for Culture Fest concerts, Panorama, and much, much more. New York Carnival, Junior Parade of Bands, and the 58th Annual West Indian Carnival Day Parade on Eastern Parkway. Join us for Viva La Carnival, the celebration.
Whether we are on the road or in a fest, we sure to marches up. Cause we bring the energy, that's who we mean. We party till we jump. Hey, until yeah, man, fun. You ready for this one? I'm ready. Okay, let's go. I see people, plenty people. I see people, VIP people.
Tune in every Saturday from 2 p.m. till 6 p.m.
with DJ Dlife and Iron Voice.
They got the music.
Your show is the best soca show I've ever listened to.
Best selector of the century. Dear life.
The energy.
That's a big man. Baby of Commander, we are going. Hey, my girl, we are going so.
That's not kind of like an aggressive beg, though.
At Jamaica.
And the joke.
You should have there very early.
We need to just share from 2 o'clock.
As a matter of fact, play your commercial.
No,
Play your commercial.
Live on Soundchat Radio.
And syndicated on Synergy TV
Every Saturday, 2 to 6 p.m.
The most entertaining show on your Saturday.
There's a grace period of 2.5 years old.
What?
Where being the father supposed to go there and everything good.
even if they're not together.
Listen to me, man. I'll be your father.
DJ Dlife
and Iron Voice.
Double trouble, we say.
Yo, this is the girl Patrice Robertson. Right now, you're watching Fusion with Dlife. My love, they're eternal. eternally, eternally, eternally. I love you for eternity. Oh.
All right, so folks, we're back. The one, the only Kevin Lyttle is in the building. And you know, if you don't know the name, Google it. If there's a new breed, a newcomer, Google it. All right. Man is responsible for one of the biggest soca songs to ever. I don't even call it a soca song anymore. It's a big international song, period.
Yeah.
To ever hit the circuit.
Yeah, man.
So Kevin, just before we went to break, we got into the whole thing of the, you know, at one point you were labeled as this one hit wonder. You know, give me your thoughts on it, because you and I have spoken off, but never on camera officially. Give me your take on it.
Well, okay, so you know, that is a thing that arises because, well, first of all, I look at it as people having nothing else to say. First of all, and they find something negative to hang on to say because they hear somebody else say something, and they feel like that is the thing to say. And it's a kind of thing amongst our people's culture as well, amongst our Black culture, where we don't do research on each other, we don't look and find out things for ourselves and question things, and it has hurt our people for a long time, and it's something that I wanted, you know, just discourage people from doing, man. You got to research, you got to find out things before you start opening your mouth and saying things, you know what I mean? And when it comes to that in general, that was something that I think was started with VH1, actually. And then our people picked it up, whether it be Black American, Caribbean, the Jamaican, the Trinidadian, whatever, we picked it up. And we should not have ever picked that up, because it just shows how simple-minded we are as a people to do that, because we allow mainstream media to influence us to the point where we forget the achievements of our people in our own countries and in our own markets. At that time, no, because, and I'm going to let you speak. At that time, Call Me was my second hit in the Caribbean in 2002. Big all over the Caribbean, playing in every party, every radio station. Then by 2003, when I got the deal with Turn Me On, because Turn Me On was so big internationally, I had Last Drop, which was another big song throughout the whole Caribbean again, all in Trinidad, everywhere, and was #1 in Jamaica when it was remixed with Spraga. All right? And then we had Drive Me Crazy with me and Mr. Easy, a song originally done by Easy with Tony Kelly, and redone with me and him for my album for the international release. Big song worldwide. Big record. And then after that, we had what? Home for Carnival.
Yeah.
Right? But even before Home for Carnival, we had Dlife. We had Sexy Ways with me and Trini Jacobs, which was mashing up Trinidad Carnival.
Correct.
One of the biggest songs in Trinidad Carnival, I think that was 2005. Right? And then we had Home for Carnival in 2006. So I have years of hits going through the carnival, and here comes my own people taking up with the Americans saying and calling me a one-hit wonder, because they don't have nothing else to say. And when they want to say something negative about you, they perpetuate things that they didn't even research. And that is the thing, you know, when we start not actually trying to preserve our people, but we try to pull them down. That's what we have to protect. We're not big enough for that. We're not big enough to be pulling our people down. And we shouldn't have
be uplifting. Exactly.
Yeah, we should never get big enough that we need to be pulling our people down. Our people been through slavery for hundreds of years. We don't need to be doing it to ourselves anymore. That's mental slavery. We need to move from that.
And this thing with VH1, that was the VH1 used to have a special on with they used to call one-hit wonders or some kind of thing like that. That's where that came from, right?
Yeah, well, they would label some songs as they don't understand why it became a hit or something like that, because the thing is that it was so different. and they loved controversy, and so do we. We love controversy, but the thing is, controversy is another thing that has us lost. We are lost because we are so caught up in only paying attention to controversy that when good things happen, we don't know how to celebrate them.
Exactly.
And we miss them.
Well, people hop on the negativity because they believe that is what will get the clicks, that will clickbait and stuff like that.
Well, they're doing it for the likes, according to...
They're doing it for the likes.
Who sang that song? Is it Chronic? Which one of them sing that song, Dlife?
Yeah, it's Chronics.
Yeah, you know?
Yep.
Doing it for the likes, you know?
Doing it for the likes.
For the likes, but, you know, it is what it is.
Now, what I want to touch on, because you have taken that whole negative spin and that whole thing and pretty much built an empire off of it.
Yeah.
Right? In the way how you handle your business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not to put your business out there, but what it is that, you know, from the business side, and how did that come about in way of you securing yourself that, you know, you are good, right?
Yeah.
Because of this so-called one-hit wonder.
Well, you see, the so-called one-hit wonder actually owns his music. Unlike a lot of the hit makers who you would want to say have so much of hits, and my music keeps making money. You know, my music don't come out 1 year and gone the next, and I have to go scramble and run in studio and sing 10 more songs for the next year. You know, because that gone. You know, I don't have to. And one thing I don't have to do is go and try to buy up anybody else's music or own anybody else's music in any way to build up my catalog. You understand? I don't have to buy up nobody's music. I own everything.
You own
even my masters I have ownership in.
Nice.
You understand? Atlantic still has the most of it, but I ain't even want to change that right now because that means they're working and putting in all the work and I'm getting money from the work they're doing. You understand? That's business.
Right.
You know, you don't want to mess. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. You know what I mean? But staying on topic, so the thing is, because of all the negativity and all the trials and tribulations that I started out with in the beginning as a young person, not knowing heads from tail with this business, the things that I did know, I did hold on to, which was the different revenue streams in the music industry. You know, I knew from the beginning when I started recording, that if I write a song, I'm supposed to get my publishing as the writer of the song. So I made sure I held on to that and I fought for it tooth and nail to make sure I kept it.
Was it difficult back then fighting to get it?
Yeah, man, it was very difficult because at the time too in the Caribbean, because the music industry, we follow everything international that we see. The producers were really raping the artists. You know this, Dlife. The producers were basically not even telling the artists about the publishing, wasn't telling them about what they could earn and all this kind of thing. And that was from the dancehall to the soca to the calypso market. The people who are actually making residual income were the producers, because they would own the masters, they would take the publishing, they would take everything and never have a discussion with you. Because as far as they're concerned, they ain't have to educate you or tell you nothing. Right? And then you would have the lazy artists as well who just want to be famous, who just want to come and make a hit and say, oh, I did playing on the radio, I'm famous all together, and them want me to sing me around the place. I got make a big money, they say I got a nice car and all this kind of thing. And then me understand that that is extremely fleeting.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. If you
have
the
business, it's not even 0.001% of your journey. Because right there, right now, that is something that just goes up and comes right back down to zero. It goes back to zero. You understand? So I understood all this and I held on to my things, and suddenly as time progressed, you know, turn me on, just kept sticking like a cockroach. You could kill one, but they all just keep coming back. You know, cockroach been here since the dinosaurs and before. Been here before the dinosaurs.
And they will be here after.
They will be here after. So the song was like that. It just kept sticking, and people, you know, when they say the original dead, somebody remix it over in Europe. and then I go and I drop an album in Japan where I have another big hit, Fire in Your Waistline, which has not been found on iTunes and everything lately because I myself have been lapsing on redistributing the Dawn album because I own the whole album on masters. And my team keeps telling me, Kevin, you need to put back up the Fire album. You know, but I have so much other businesses running. It's crazy. I'm running like 10 different aspects of business every day. Right? So that happened. And I mean, bro, you have cheat codes go and sing over the song. You have this guy Moran did a dance remix, huge dance DJ he was. You know, and then every now and then I end up on some huge concert with 30, 40,000 people. I'll be in the clubs all the time every year. Sometimes I was doing 100 shows per year. You know, just running through clubs because Fermion is a huge club record. You know, but on top of it, not just getting my residuals and doing shows, I'm ending up on some gigantic concerts, getting big money just to come and touch one song. And when that one time I touch it, you walk with 15, 20,000 people singing it, and they go back on their iTunes, go play it. You know, and that has been my livelihood consistently because, and this is bringing us to the point of it where it is that there's many different ways to skin a cat. Hence, there's many different streams of revenue in the music industry. You just have to capitalize on what is your strength in the industry.
Exactly.
And that is what I did exactly. I capitalized on the strength of that record. It is now, that record in itself is about 5 hit songs. You got the Cheat Codes remix that was close to 1 billion streams 4 years ago. So it's probably over 1 billion. That was before the pandemic. Like 2018 or 19, it was almost 1 billion streams. The original song is always making more than even those remixes. You have the Chris Brown version, it's over 500 million streams or 500 million streams or something. You know, there's remixes with me, Faruko. Like 3 years ago, I did that remix, Alex Sensation, Faruko. Oh my God, what's this kid, Prince Royce. We all did a big music video for the song. Karol G was even there with us for that video as well. So, you know, and every year there's something. And last year before, I think this was it last year or year before, we had a huge remix that went to #1 with, oh my God, no, my guy's name slipping me. But that was set up by my boy from St. Vincent, Matafix, who's a huge pop artist in Europe. He set up that relationship with his dance DJ, and they would forgive me for not remembering their name right now, having a brain fart on that. But that record was huge in London the other day. So, you know, we could keep going. There's hits upon hits.
And the thing about it is, you're talking up to now, Kevin, you didn't even get into the movies.
Yeah, we get into the
movies.
Well, look, even this, Kali Buds was one of the first to remake Turn Me On officially with his song Mamacita.
Yep.
Which I own most of the publishing on that record.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
Yeah, okay. I own most of that record. Just like how I own most of the Chris Brown record.
Okay.
You know, I own the Cheat Codes record. You know, I own these things. I'm not here on no like, trying to hustle nobody for nothing, or no trying to fake nothing and pretend like I got this and one bag of flash and bling. I know where I am. I know where I'm at. So I'm not. You notice one thing with me. I always try to stay
humble
on a humble line, and it's not just because I was humbled by something. It's because I was raised that way. My mother raised me that way. God bless her soul, to be just respectful and listen and don't try to push yourself above other people. Like if you say you're this or you're that, when you walk in the room, the people find out who you are by your deeds and your actions. You don't have to open your mouth and tell everybody. You know, your good works will follow you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know, because though me and you close Dlife, if ever you walk in a room, right, and I in the room and everybody paying me mine, and nobody ain't see you yet, what I just do?
You just come in here.
Yo, Dlife for going on. Because
exactly, I have seen that.
Yes, yep. And the thing is that is how humility works. you will find that the corners that belong to you will always come to you, whether you want it or not, or whether you're looking for it or not. Your moments to shine will come.
Yeah, man. And Kevin, that is what I'm saying. It just so much behind you with this record, and so much misinformation, and like you say, it's just the negative things with people because of our culture, that West Indian
See,
culture.
if I was like rest artists, them who feed into negativity and use negativity to keep people interested in what they have to say. You know, I could go and start to say some raw ignorance and carry on, like say, but I am not about that. I'm just real. I'm not here to fight anybody and take anything from
And
anybody.
then at the end of the day, it doesn't solve anything, and it doesn't do anything. And the end of the day,
it also puts you in a position where you could get yourself in a lot of trouble. You know, and we as people, we have to realize too, the one bag of load up is what making we lose a lot of the leverage that we have. You know, you see what happening to a lot of stars, you know?
Yeah.
Kelly.
Yep.
Puffy. It's the one bag of load up. And yo, I love these guys. I'm a fan of R. Kelly. I'm a fan of Puffy. You know, these guys have achieved. You know, I am not a judge. I am not a police. I am not there to know facts about what they did or whatever. All I know is what they're saying. And if they did it and they've been found guilty, so be it. But it does not negate or just disregard the work that they have done. They have done work and they have achieved and they've created a lot of history for our people to use to better ourselves. And that cannot be discounted. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, bro, but at the end of the day, you gotta learn to be humble and shut your mouth, Jed. You're doing something, keep it quiet. Everybody has to know.
You know, exactly. Exactly. You said it plain and simple. Now Kevin, just on the real, I mean, one of my favorite movies was Hitch.
Yeah.
I remember going to the movies to see Hitch back in the day, right? And that last scene and seeing the Vinci flag and hearing the song, give me, I mean, because I know these so-called movie producers, they're not thinking putting the Vinci flag on the ship.
Yeah.
Right? How did that come about? Was that your influence?
No, not really. You know, I think it was that. Well, I think they probably. I don't know. I can't say factually that I know, because at one point it was that because a lot of ships fly their flag on the St. Vincent. I think it's cheaper or something to fly your flag on the St. Vincent. Okay. So a lot of ships internationally get the Vinci flag on their boat. So that kind of, I think, and I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, I could be wrong. I don't remember if Atlantic had something to do with getting that done, because we did make sure that the flags was a big thing, because of the blackout in Toronto at the time, and in those days the Vinci flag wasn't as popular, because there wasn't as much Vincis as there was Jamaicans, Trinidadians, Lucians on the outside every time you have a soca party, right? Yeah. So when the blackout happened, now we can't find flag people, we can't find Vinci flag, we only get like 2. So they go now and they say, you know, oh, Kevin Lyttle ain't put no Vinci flag in the video and all this kind of stuff. So we was really pushing that flag thing at the time, you understand? So the flags, even at BET 106 and Park, we had the flags. We gave out a whole heap of Vinci flags. You want to take some Park performance, because it was like, yo, what are they talking about? They don't understand that, yo, it was a blackout, the whole place blackout, and we couldn't get a flag. And then make it was Vinci. You know them days, Dlife, how it was.
When you go to these events and you ask, there was only like basically 3 main flags they had tons of.
Yeah. Trinidad, right? Jamaica.
And you could, a stretch was Barbados.
Yeah. But then you get some Haitian, you get the Haitian, the big country.
You say get
yeah. The Latin speaking countries, them.
Yeah.
or maybe a U.S. Virgin Islands, you know, them kind of thing there, but you hardly find the other small islands them.
Yeah, like Antigua, St. Vincent, all these flags, it was hard to find.
And then when you hear the man, when the man and them go up to perform on the show in a soca, in an international soca show in New York or anywhere around in the diaspora, whose name used to call first? Trinidad. And then after that is Jamaica. If you ain't call them two names, you better go home.
Well, and look at it now.
Right.
Now, if you ain't calling the other islands now, you see how the table stood.
It's bacchanal.
Right?
But, bro, so, I mean, that thing with that flag on that boat, I still don't know how that happened for sure, but I think it's because everybody was flying the flag on the St. Vincent.
I ain't gonna lie, it was a proud moment.
Yes.
Just me being a West Indian, going to see this movie, seeing that flag, bro, in the movie, I just got quiet. I was just like, apart from hearing the song, but seeing, because that scene is shot in Manhattan, down at the hub in Manhattan. So when you hear the song, and then you see the Vinci flag, I was just like, wow, yeah, man.
Yeah, and it wasn't even the original version of the song, it was the dance version that was in the movie.
Yeah, but I know the song, so I was just like, you know what I mean?
But that's just to tell you how much different hit versions of the song there is, you know?
Yep. I mean, listen, there's no denying it. There's no denying it. Turn Me On is one of the biggest songs. Folks, when we come back, I got more with Kevin. He got brand new music.
Yeah.
Brand new music. And we have a segment of Talk the Things. We're gonna get some info from Kevin. So take a quick break. When we come back, more with Kevin Lyttle right here.
Alan's Bakery is a household name, serving the community for over 60 years. Their world-famous currant roll and hard dough are a must. Celebrate your special occasion with your specialty cake made to order. Located at 1109 Nostrand Avenue in Brooklyn, New York, visit their bar and cafe located just next door. Try out the signature drinks with a wide range of dishes to choose from. Alan's Bar and Cafe is your next social venue. Open for lunch, takeout only, Monday to Friday, 12 noon to 4 p.m. Thursdays and Friday nights, 6 to midnight. Weekend brunch from 1 to 4 p.m. Saturday and Sundays. Let them host your next event at the Hidden Gems by Alan's. Give them a call at 718-316-6617 or email alansbarandcafe@gmail.com.
Yo, this is Lyrical right now. You're tuning into Dlife on Fusion. You don't know it's all about uptown, downtown, stink anyway. Big fight, big crew, big everyday. Big facts. You don't know it's all about Fusion. Lyrical there, Dlife. Salute and salute every time. Nah.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's Young Devin, and I want to give a big shout out to Dlife Fusion. Make sure you guys continue to support always. Be my little secret, I don't want to hide, but you're putting it on me.
Check, let's go. Yeah. She look good and she waistline rolling. Look, she there, right there, winding up in front of me. Love how she making it go round and round. The wickedest waistline spotted. Look at that, right there, look it right over there. I could do it some of that, so I pull up, but it hypnotize me. My girl, when you get that wine, you're supposed to come with a caution sign, a sign that say please beware of wine. When you get that.
Pull up. Listen to me, folks. Brand new music coming down from Kevin Lyttle. It is called Hold Me. It's on the Red Rum Rhythm. When we listen, I'm a hush.
Check, let's go. Yeah.
need a thought to us now. We need a thought to us. I think so. We need a bit on another run of the chorus, right?
Listen to me, people. This song bad. This song bad. This song bad.
I'm glad you like it, bro. I'm glad you like it.
I
was there with Problem Child. I was sweating. Problem Child write this song for me. The rhythm is his production, and so I was recording Problem Child. I was like, Problem, because he didn't nice up the vocals or anything. He just give me the thing raw with the beat raw and just start to tell me, say this, say that, say this, say that. So I hear it. I can't see in his head what he's seeing.
Right.
But now I see it.
What was it like working with Problem? Because, I mean, Problem was one of my first interviews here on this show. Big up the Problem. He was one of the, and I told him this, when I first started Fusion, I happened to call him, and he, without even hesitation, was my very first guest on Fusion 4 seasons ago, man.
Yo, so, you know what it is with me? I love these guys, Problem and Skinny Fabulous, because we both went to the same high school and we both see each other come up at some point in life. Like when I was coming in, Problem was just going out of high school. And Problem was a dancer. Problem was doing jumping and flipping them hip-hop dance. So them as jump up on the shoulder, roll on the ground and do all them. You see how he fit?
Yeah.
But Problem ever like that. That's Problem whole life. He's always been that personality. And when I get big and thing, when I come out of school, I saw Skinny coming up and saw him when he first came in and stuff like that, and saw him when he, so it's like, it's always a pleasure to work with them, but Problem is a problem. He ain't gonna vex me for say that. I'm a boy.
I mean,
Problem is a problem, and he knows it. He knows he's a problem.
He knows. He could be miserable at the times. I mean, I had him on a few events. He is that guy. But
but he is that way because he's very strict with the way he does his thing. If it works, it works, and that's how he sees it, and he stays with his process and his way of doing things, and I respect that. Couple times he write me, I want to yell at him, but I'm like, let me think about who his Problem Child and why he's saying what he's saying, and then I write him back with the right response, and he responds back to me a sort of way. Because sometimes he comes across like he just being cut and dry, but then when you have to take your time and listen to him,
Mm-hmm.
You have to listen to anytime Problem Child talk to you, it's very easy for you to take what he's saying wrong.
Yeah.
You have to listen to him a couple times.
If you don't know him, it can go left. But
yes, I listen to him, and I listen again, and I listen a third time, and the third time I really understand what he's saying, and then I write him back. I don't ever hustle my response to him because you get him wrong at first a lot of the time, but it's my cool brother. Like we have a long connection. When I was a big international star, Problem was still trying, and I did songs with him in Vinci Carnival. We have a big song together, big hit in Vinci Carnival. I can't remember the name of the song. And we had a truck on the road and everything. We have Problem, But, bro, it's just good to be able to work with these guys still after we come through high school together.
Problem Child is when it comes to writing, and producing some of the sweetest rhythms you would hear is Problem Child, and I don't think he gets enough recognition for it. So this rhythm here, Red Rum Rhythm, right? There's a couple of you guys on it. Of course, you on it. Of course, Problem Child is on it with Patrice. There's a lot of different artists on there.
Dimes and Pixel, Vinci artist.
Yep.
And Imani, I think she's basically very new as well, from Trinidad.
Yep, Imani, yep. So when did this rhythm officially release?
2 weeks ago. No.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's only 2 weeks old. And we just start bubbling.
Oh, it is bubbling, and I'm sure after this show, and then once I premiere it on the radio part of it, it will start to bubble. But could we look, because I hear in this tune and I'm seeing a video, brother.
Yeah, no, I already got the plan.
Okay.
Hint, caution sign.
All right.
that video is supposed to come with a caution sign.
Yeah. I am done seeing. I mean, the tune bad. The tune is bad. The tune bad, and congratulations.
Thank you.
I think this one here is is for us. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This
You know, I
one
did the same thing with Home for Carnival, Home for Carnival. And that was me.
Carnival is for us.
Yeah. You know, the problem is that after I became so internationally known with music, the Caribbean was like, you leave we out. And that's what perpetrate a lot of because they don't understand. When you get so big worldwide, I'm not just in demand in the Caribbean, I'm in demand internationally, and sometimes you don't really want to lose your momentum where you're making money, because, hey, more money, more problems, meaning bigger bills. Yep. So I can't take too much of a small show and then hurt myself. I have to be able to keep the lights on. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, I mean, bro, that song, I think Problem helped me to get back that connection in that part of my personality with my Caribbean twang or lingo and delivery accent of that, because my accent is very confused. Let's put it this way. Because Dlife, you live out here, you're like 1 minute, depending on who you're talking to, you kind of have the English language with many accents coming at you. If you're talking to
it is STEM, because just like anywhere else you live in, you would adapt. So you tend to think, if you were living in England, you would have been hearing us with a little slight twang. So folks, we're here with Kevin Lyttle now. Part of my show, Kevin, part of my show, I have the game segment. And, what we wanted to do with you, because you're a veteran artist and you're no newcomer, and for who you are, and we wanted to do talk the things. All right, now talk the things. We're just gonna talk the things. All right, I'm gonna put them up here, and we're just gonna talk about it. All right. First one here. What was the best thing that happened to you since the release of Turn Me On? For you, what was the best thing?
I could tell you one of the best things.
Give me one of the best things.
I learned to drive. I think.
You learned to drive?
Yeah, bro. I mean, listen, I got my license in the year before Turn Me On came out. And I started getting my license in the year before. And by the time this summer I get my license, Turn Me On hit, and everybody driving me everywhere. Everybody and their mother want to drive me, so I ain't driving. So it took me 4 years. It's my first child's mom. When I started coming in Miami, she'll come pick me up and she'll let me drive she car. And then I started to drive more and everything, and I really got the hang of it.
Nobody would ever know
from
that.
Miami first. And then I started renting cars in New York and living in New York in 2005, 2006 for a whole year. And then I buy a Benz, and because I actually had all this money, and I was like, but I'm very cautious with my money. So, and then Vinci, they was cussing me, oh boy, you sell this song, you ain't got no car, you ain't got no this, they're judging me by just what I have, I don't build a mother house and thing, make sure my mother house nice, And I said, let me buy a Nissan Maxima, brand new Maxima. I buy a Maxima and I drive it around New York for 6 months. I get real good at driving in New York. And New York is like driving in the Caribbean, eh?
Oh yeah, but New York, if you want to learn to drive.
It's a whole, you get everything. You get Africa and the Caribbean and America.
You get everything, For real.
And then 6 months after, I gave me confidence and I bought a Mercedes Benz and started driving that,
Okay.
But, that was the thing that happened. Because at one point in my life, I was just like, when am I ever going to drive?
Next one here. What was the hardest thing to do since the release for you?
Boy. Behave myself. I don't have to elaborate. Behave myself.
Understood. You don't have to elaborate.
Some bad behavior, bad behavior,
Any regrets?
I would say no regrets, because you know what? Life is a classroom. You understand me? Life is a classroom. And the teacher named Life. And all the friends and them inside of the classroom and all the students and all the books and everything is everything else in life. you can't go wrong it, you have to learn.
Everything is a teaching moment.
It's a teaching moment, yeah?
What was the worst experience you have encountered since the release of Turn Me On? The worst experience you ever encountered?
Worst experience. Boy, I tell you, I nearly got shoot. One time, I nearly got shot. One time I shoot in a video. I have a hit song, my second #1 Billboard hit, right? With this kid, Niengo Flow. I think he's from Puerto Rico. Don't quote me on that if I'm wrong or wrong. So, as I haven't seen Niengo in a long time, we shooting this video in a strip club. And we shooting it in the morning time, right? Morning, like late. Actually, it was later in the day, like afternoon, early afternoon, or late morning time. And you know, strip club, man moving money in and out all times, you know, because strip club does be moving a lot of cash, eh?
Was this in Miami?
Yeah, in Miami, bro.
Okay.
Bro, we doing a scene and they give Kevin a silver Glock 45 Magnum long like the computers. Glock 45 and then go have another one in his hand. And we go in there like we're going to rob the place. And we being filmed. Brother, we go in there when we got in there when we are so like serious bad man and going in, going to rob the place. And the actual guardsman coming out with the 2 bag of money while we filming. And he see we and put his hand on him when grab his gun to shoot we.
So he didn't know you guys were shooting that video?
No, because the thing is, he come in to do his job.
Right.
He ain't realizing that.
Is that video shooting?
You remember, you know, these guys, people, they deal with money, you know. They ain't studying nobody. When you see they come in to do their job, they come do their job. They don't give a about anything else. They come for that. Right? Boy, we going in with big gun and thing, boy. To see we, boy, I had a silver Magnum. Where you see this Magnum in my hand, brother? Right? Bro. The man go do so. And I say, hey, no, look the man there with the camera. We filming. Boy, the man.
All right, last one here, Kevin. How do you think the Caribbean community treated you after the song got internationally acclaimed?
I think that it was mixed. And I think at the time too, because of my circumstances, I couldn't really see how big I was. Everybody would tell me, yo, you don't know how big you is, you know how big you is, you know? But I didn't, because what it was, there was no social media like there is now. You know, there's no Instagram and there was no Facebook, there was no YouTube, there was no, what do you call that thing, TikTok.
Yeah,
bro, there was none of that. No, you big as an artist. You look on TikTok and see you have 5-10 million people following you. You know, ain't nobody bigger than you right now.
Right.
You understand? But then, and then me, the humble person I am and wanting to stay humble, even if I had that, I would have still maintained a certain level of humility about me. And, you know, the Caribbean had its good and its bad, because you would find even from radio announcers to dancers, everybody in the industry have their egos and what they're trying to get out of you, you know, because even you as a star, you're a moving target, especially for people who want to be famous too. And you'll find that people try to trap you in arguments and in things that get you in trouble and get you in news and all.
Get you to say the wrong thing.
Yeah, and I didn't understand that, because at the time I wasn't seeing all that side of the industry when I came into it at first. I never understood that it was that crazy. I just thought everybody would love me.
Yeah, because the thing, not everybody there.
And then when I get Trinidad and they start to criticize the clothes I wear on stage, saying, boy, Kevin Lyttle, boy, what you wearing, boy? Man, out on the radio, the first 2 weeks in Trinidad, man, saying, boy, Kevin Lyttle, what kind of outfit is that? What kind of style is that? You ain't up to the man started going on me that I had to go figure out my outfit. Yo, it was always, you know, I learned on the fly. You understand? Because there was no publicist, no nobody to deal with my look
Outside,
and
there's
all of that.
nothing like that. You wasn't surrounded by that.
I wasn't surrounded by that because that part of the industry I didn't know about. What I knew about was the money making side, not the money spending side. I was very knowledgeable on the money making side. And when the spending come around, I wasn't knowledgeable, so I was very reserved about it. And that's the thing that has protected me, is that I was very reserved about spending. I wasn't just gonna go and buy something and didn't understand how it's gonna affect me in the long run, you know? Yeah. But don't forget, we gotta talk about my business side. You know, we have Vonzu food delivery service and
Right. That was what I wanted to close off with. Now, tell us something about all the different things the entrepreneur Kevin Lyttle have going on. Because I remember when we had spoke at the baseball game in Miami, you told me about the food app that you were working on for Vinci.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's out and it's smashing, bro.
All right. So give me the list of the rundown of the stuff, man.
Yeah, man. So the app, you know, just in Vinci alone, we're working on millions per year, you know, gross money. And we you know, we are growing because the name of the game is to spread the app throughout the lesser Antilles, the rest of the small islands, and make it the premier app for the Caribbean. That's what I'm working on. So right now, it's going to be a super app. It's not limited to food delivery. Food delivery was the start to get the system up and running and get people familiar with the brand. Develop the app into a super app. Now it's got rideshare launching for Vinci Carnival. At the Victoria Park, we're going to have the ride app pick up and drop off spot. And we're going to make that an exclusive spot for taxis that in the Vonzu app to drop off people at the venue of the park for the shows and stuff like that. And we're going to work with all the other promoters to create exclusive spots so that to make it easier for patrons to get in and out of the venues. Yeah, and coming now with the new version, you can move store credit in the app. So, and with all the stuff the app have, your store credit is money. So if you want to buy groceries, pharmaceuticals, food, you want to give them a ride to somewhere, you put money on their wallet, you can move money from your wallet to their wallet. And we're also working on Vonzu Pay, which is going to enable you to be able to transfer money. So, you know, there's a few things coming on the Vonzu, and we're going to expand it throughout all the rest of the islands. And even before Vonzu, we have Chillin', which was originally the Bounty in St. Vincent. We call it Chillin' at the Bounty. Now it's Chillin' Brewery. And we've launched and we're now partnered with the Brewery of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we're selling beer and food, you know, so that's a nice place to lime during the carnival. And, you know, we have with distribution. Dlife, I've been telling you, you know, we have a distribution relationship with the main system that does these distribution platforms that they run on, right? And our distribution relationship with our company, EME, allows us to upload all Caribbean music for free. So you don't have to pay to distribute with us. Jellan is one person from Trinidad that's working with us. I think you guys know Jellan. He's big in the behind the scenes management and stuff in the industry in Trinidad. And we have people like the guy who did the peanut butter jelly record, who's distributed with us. And these people are earning money quarterly with us all the time.
I'm gonna definitely have more info on EME. All right. Entertainment Made Easy. It's a form for you to be able to distribute your music at no cost to you, and you earn revenue.
Oh yeah. Yo, this is Kevin Lyttle. Right now you're watching Fusion with my boy Dlife. You don't know. Hey girl, yo. Your waistline, hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me. Hold me, mind, body, and soul on Fusion TV. Yeah. Check. Let's go. Yeah. She look good and she waistline rolling. Look, she there, right there, winding up in front of me. Love how she making it go round and round. The wickedest waistline spotted. Look at that, right there, look it right over there. I could do it some of that. So I pull up, but it hypnotize me. My girl, when you get that wine, it's supposed to come with a caution sign. A sign that say please beware of wine. When you get that wine, it's supposed to come
prohibition sign. Sign that say please beware of wine. When you get that wine, supposed to come with a